What if I told you that somewhere beneath the frozen wilderness of Siberia, a 39-year-old baby still holds flowing blood inside its body, while thousands of miles away, a 5,000-year-old frozen traveler still wears the expression of fear from the final moments before his death? Deep beneath the Arctic Ocean, legendary ships disappeared without a trace, only to be found centuries later because people refused to forget the ancient stories passed down through generations. Most of us look at glaciers and see nothing more than endless fields of snow and ice, but in reality, they are the greatest natural vaults on Earth, preserving treasures, lost civilizations, forgotten lives, and secrets powerful enough to rewrite history. As the world's glaciers slowly melt, they aren't just releasing water, they're revealing fortunes worth millions of dollars, creatures that vanished tens of thousands of years ago, and discoveries that continue to challenge everything scientists once believed. Tonight, we'll uncover 10 of the most astonishing discoveries ever pulled from the world's frozen ice, because sometimes the cold remembers what humanity has long forgotten.
Number 10. The treasure hidden inside the ice. In 2013, a French mountaineer was climbing the frozen slopes of Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in Western Europe, expecting nothing more than snow, ice, and silence stretching across the endless glacier. While making his way across the ancient ice, something unusual caught his attention: a weathered metal container buried deep inside the glacier, with one remarkable detail still perfectly visible after decades beneath the frozen surface. Stamped across the container were the words "Made in India," a strange sight in the middle of the French Alps, convincing the climber that whatever lay inside had an incredible story waiting to be uncovered. When he carefully opened the container, he discovered more than 100 precious gemstones, including brilliant emeralds and rubies that still sparkled despite spending nearly half a century trapped beneath the glacier. Investigators later revealed that the gemstones had originally been cargo aboard Indian Airlines Flight 101, which crashed into Mont Blanc back in 1966, leaving its valuable contents buried inside the mountain for decades. After years of investigation, no rightful owner could ever be identified, and under French law, the discovery was declared abandoned property, allowing the treasure to be legally divided between the mountaineer and the local authorities. Valued at nearly $340,000, the frozen treasure earned the climber approximately $169,000, proving that glaciers don't just preserve history, they sometimes protect fortunes, waiting for the right person to uncover them. But hidden treasures are only the beginning, because deep beneath Antarctica's frozen wilderness, scientists would soon uncover something far more extraordinary: a creature that had remained buried for nearly 70 million years, from a time when Antarctica was covered in forests instead of ice.
Number 9. The dinosaur hidden beneath Antarctica. In January 1986, two Argentine geologists, Eduardo Olivero and Roberto Scasso, arrived on the frozen wilderness of James Ross Island, Antarctica, expecting nothing more than another routine scientific expedition. Their mission was simple: collect rock samples, study the ancient landscape beneath the ice, and uncover clues about Antarctica's geological past, with no idea they were standing above one of the continent's greatest hidden secrets. While examining a frozen outcrop, Olivero noticed a strange object protruding from the rock, and although it looked like an ordinary stone at first glance, years of experience told him something wasn't right. As the team carefully cleared away the surrounding ice, their excitement quickly grew, because what they had first mistaken for a rock was actually an enormous fossilized bone, unlike anything they expected to find in Antarctica. They continued removing layers of frozen earth by hand, and with every section they uncovered, it became clear that this wasn't an isolated fossil. It was the remains of an entire prehistoric animal buried beneath the ice. Excavating fossils in Antarctica is one of the most difficult jobs on Earth, where heavy machinery is almost impossible to use, and scientists have only a few weeks each year before brutal winter weather forces them to leave. What might have taken months anywhere else became a decade-long mission as researchers returned year after year to slowly free the ancient skeleton from the frozen ground without damaging its fragile remains. Finally, in 2006, scientists confirmed that the fossil belonged to a previously unknown armored dinosaur called Antarctopelta olivero, making it the very first dinosaur ever discovered on the continent of Antarctica. The discovery revealed an astonishing truth. Nearly 70 million years ago, Antarctica wasn't a frozen desert, but a world filled with dense forests, flowing rivers, and dinosaurs roaming across a landscape completely different from today. One skeleton buried beneath the ice had rewritten Antarctica's ancient history, proving that even the coldest place on Earth once supported a thriving world full of life.
Number 8. The gold hidden inside the ice. Most people believe gold can only be found deep underground inside mines, but glaciers have quietly protected another kind of treasure for thousands of years without anyone realizing it. During the last ice age, enormous glaciers scraped across mountains, carrying gold-rich rocks for hundreds of miles before trapping them deep inside layers of ice, where they remained frozen for thousands of years. Unlike massive gold nuggets hidden beneath the earth, this gold became scattered through frozen rivers, rocks, and glacial sediment, completely invisible beneath the endless sheets of ice. Today, as global temperatures continue to rise and glaciers slowly melt, that hidden treasure is beginning to emerge once again, revealing valuable deposits that have remained untouched since the Ice Age. Scientists believe that as melting accelerates in the coming decades, even greater quantities of gold may be released into glacial rivers, creating entirely new opportunities for discovery in places once buried beneath permanent ice. It means that somewhere in the frozen wilderness, an ordinary explorer could one day stumble upon a fortune worth millions simply because nature has finally decided to reveal what it has protected for thousands of years. But while hidden gold can make someone rich, the next discovery left scientists speechless. A 39-year-old baby mammoth so perfectly preserved that its body still contained flowing blood, raising a question that once belonged only to science fiction. Could an extinct species one day walk the earth again?
Number 7. The baby that refused to disappear. Deep within the frozen wilderness of Siberia's Yuka region, a group of ivory hunters searched the ancient permafrost for mammoth tusks, hoping another ordinary day of digging might earn them enough money to support their families. While cutting through the frozen ground, one hunter noticed a strange shape emerging from the ice, and at first everyone assumed it was nothing more than the remains of another animal that had died thousands of years ago. But as they carefully removed the surrounding ice, an astonishing sight slowly appeared before them. A perfectly preserved baby woolly mammoth lying peacefully beneath the frozen earth as if it had fallen asleep only yesterday. Golden fur still covered its tiny body. The soft pads beneath its feet remained completely intact, and its small trunk looked so lifelike that it seemed capable of taking its very first breath at any moment. For nearly 39,000 years, the Siberian ice had preserved the young mammoth with extraordinary precision, preserving details that normally disappear within days after death. Scientists later named Yuka and transported her to leading research laboratories in Russia and Japan, expecting to study nothing more than exceptionally well-preserved prehistoric remains. Instead, they made a discovery that stunned the scientific world, because inside Yuka's body, they found liquid red blood, something no one expected to see inside an animal that had died tens of thousands of years ago. Further analysis revealed that woolly mammoths carried natural chemicals in their bodies that acted like biological antifreeze, allowing them to survive some of the harshest and coldest environments on Earth. Then came an even more unbelievable discovery when scientists extracted cells from Yuka's preserved tissue in 2019, finding that some of those ancient cells still showed signs of biological activity after nearly 40,000 years. Today, researchers continue studying Yuka's DNA, blood, and preserved tissues in the hope that future advances in genetic science may one day make it possible to revive one of Earth's most iconic extinct animals. For thousands of years, the Arctic ice hadn't simply preserved the body of a baby mammoth, it had preserved one of humanity's greatest scientific possibilities.
Number 6. The mountains hidden beneath Antarctica. In 1958, a Soviet scientific expedition made an astonishing discovery beneath Antarctica, revealing an enormous mountain range completely hidden under nearly 600 meters of solid ice, where no human eyes had ever seen it. The newly discovered range became known as the Gamburtsev Mountains, stretching for almost 1,250 kilometers, with towering peaks rising more than 3,390 meters, making it comparable in size to Europe's mighty Alps. Unlike every other great mountain range on Earth, these mountains remain completely buried beneath one of the thickest ice sheets on the planet, making them one of the least explored landscapes in human history. But even today, despite satellites, radar technology, and modern scientific equipment, researchers still know surprisingly little about how this massive mountain range formed, or what other secrets may still lie hidden beneath Antarctica's frozen heart. But if you think frozen mountains are incredible, the next discovery sounds almost impossible. A glacier containing millions of frozen insects, preserving a species that completely disappeared from the Earth centuries ago. Number 5. The glacier filled with millions of insects. When most people imagine a glacier, they picture nothing more than endless white ice. But hidden inside the Beartooth Mountains of Montana lies a glacier unlike any other on Earth, one that has preserved millions of ancient insects beneath its frozen surface. Known as Grasshopper Glacier, its unusual gray appearance isn't caused by dirt or rock, but by countless frozen grasshoppers that have remained trapped inside the ice for centuries. Scientists believe long ago an enormous swarm of Rocky Mountain locusts was migrating across the mountains when a sudden and violent snowstorm swept through the sky, freezing millions of insects where they flew. As fresh layers of snow continued to fall year after year, the insects became permanently sealed inside the glacier, creating a frozen time capsule that remained untouched for generations. When geologists finally collected samples from the glacier in the early 20th century, researchers made an extraordinary discovery. The insects belonged to the Rocky Mountain locust, a species that had completely vanished from the Earth.
Without the glacier preserving their bodies, scientists might never have known what one of history's greatest insect swarms actually looked like, proving once again that ice can preserve far more than anyone ever imagined.
Number 4. The baby mammoth that waited 30,000 years. Canada's Yukon Territory is famous for its gold, and in June 2022, a miner digging through the region's permanently frozen ground believed he had uncovered another valuable discovery hidden beneath the permafrost. While breaking through the frozen earth, he noticed a small dark body emerging from the soil, and although he first thought it was a buffalo calf, one remarkable detail immediately changed everything: a tiny trunk. Realizing this could be one of the most important discoveries of his life, work stopped immediately as paleontologists rushed to the site, knowing a powerful storm was only hours away from burying the animal once again. Working against the clock, the team carefully recovered a perfectly preserved baby woolly mammoth that had died nearly 30,000 years ago after becoming trapped in deep mud when she was only about 1 month old. The frozen Yukon had protected almost every detail of her body, preserving her skin, fur, muscles, and even her DNA so remarkably that she became the first complete baby mammoth ever discovered in North America. For scientists, this wasn't simply another Ice Age fossil. It was an incredibly rare opportunity to study an extinct animal almost exactly as it had existed tens of thousands of years ago. But even perfectly preserved mammoths couldn't match what happened during World War II, when an entire squadron of aircraft disappeared beneath Greenland's ice, and one of them returned to the sky nearly 60 years later. Number 3. The fighter plane that refused to stay buried. On July 15, 1942, during the height of World War II, a squadron of P-38 Lightning fighters and B-17 bombers was flying across Greenland when a violent Arctic snowstorm suddenly swallowed the sky and forced every pilot into a desperate fight for survival. With visibility gone and fuel running low, the pilots had no choice but to make emergency landings on Greenland's massive glaciers, where all of the crew members were eventually rescued, but every aircraft was left behind beneath the endless ice. As decades passed, snowfall buried the abandoned aircraft deeper and deeper, until nearly 300 feet of solid glacier completely covered them, turning one wartime emergency into a forgotten chapter of history. Nearly 50 years later, a determined recovery team launched one of the most ambitious aircraft rescue missions ever attempted, melting tunnels through the glacier with hot water before dismantling the fighter piece by piece to lift it back to the surface. Against all expectations, the aircraft remained remarkably well preserved beneath the ice, and after years of painstaking restoration, the legendary fighter known as Glacier Girl soared into the sky once again, nearly 60 years after disappearing forever. Number 2. The man frozen in time. In 1991, 2 German hikers crossing the border between Austria and Italy noticed what appeared to be the body of a recently deceased climber, never imagining they had just discovered one of the greatest archaeological finds in modern history. When scientists carefully recovered the body and examined it in detail, they realized the man had died nearly 5,000 years ago, making him the oldest naturally preserved human ever discovered in Europe, later known around the world as Otzi, the Iceman. His perfectly preserved body revealed extraordinary details about prehistoric life, from his clothing and weapons to his final meal, while DNA analysis showed he suffered from Lyme disease, painful joints, lactose intolerance, and even carried the genes linked to male pattern baldness.
Unlike ancient skeletons that reveal only bones, Otzi preserved an entire human story, allowing scientists to study the life, health, and final moments of a man who had walked the Earth 5,000 years before our own time.
Number 1. The lost ships that legends remembered. In 1845, British explorer Sir John Franklin led two powerful ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror, into the Arctic in search of the legendary Northwest Passage, believing he was about to change the future of global exploration forever. Instead, the unforgiving Arctic trapped both ships beneath crushing ice. Disease spread through the expedition, food supplies disappeared, and every one of the 129 crew members was lost without leaving behind a single survivor. For more than a century, countless search expeditions failed to solve the mystery, and even the rescue ship HMS Investigator became trapped in the same frozen wilderness before eventually sinking beneath the Arctic Ocean. Then, in 2010, a Parks Canada expedition began searching once again, but instead of relying only on modern technology, they followed the centuries-old stories passed down by the local Inuit people, who had long spoken of strange wooden ships trapped beneath the ice. Guided by those ancient stories, the team arrived at Mercy Bay, where the very first sonar scan revealed the unmistakable outline of HMS Investigator still standing upright beneath the sea after more than 150 years in extraordinary condition. That incredible discovery inspired researchers to continue the search, leading to the recovery of HMS Erebus in 2014 and finally HMS Terror in 2016, solving one of the greatest Arctic mysteries in history. Every glacier on Earth is more than frozen water. It is a silent archive, protecting forgotten civilizations, ancient creatures, lost treasures, and stories that have waited thousands of years for humanity to discover them once again. As the world's ice continues to melt, the greatest discoveries may not be behind us. They may still be waiting beneath the frozen surface, hidden in places no human has ever explored. If you enjoyed this journey into Earth's frozen past, subscribe to the Deeper Stories, where every story takes you beyond the surface and into the mysteries history tried to bury.